I was arrested on the 10th day of July last, charged with being concerned in helping slaves to regain their freedom, which in the state of Delaware is a crime next to that of murder if committed by a colored man.
So here I am, dressed up, sitting in the witness box in the courtroom of the old State House on a cold November morning. I'm a historian. I do research. I read old documents and put together stories of people long gone. And I know the story of Samuel D. Burris. The 35-year-old free black man, a father, husband, brother, son, and uncle, a blacksmith and a farmer, had risked everything and lost. Samuel D. Burris was put in jail in July 1847 for the crime of assisting fugitives to escape from their masters. His community stood up for him. His white colleagues in the Underground Railroad work stood up for him. But the bail was out of reach, so he sat in jail. On November 2nd, 3 trials came and he was convicted. Even the judge thought the evidence was flimsy. But his punishment was severe. Big fines, more months in jail, but worst of all, when it was all done, he was to be sold as a slave. His mother watched the proceedings from the audience, along with a slave trader from Maryland, who was paid by the state to be there. In March, that slave trader visited him in jail to explain his plan. He would buy him at the auction and sell him to some good man in Virginia. That day, Samuel D. Burris wrote to a friend, "Now I beg to close my remarks without any expectation of ever seeing you again in this world." But fate was kinder. Samuel D. Burris was sold at auction to the highest bidder, but not to the slave trader, to the Pennsylvania Abolition Society. 167 years later, I read an article about the outgoing governor of Illinois pardoning 3 Underground Railroad operatives. Inspired, I sent an article out on social media and asked, why not here? Why not Delaware? I was in my office when the phone rang. An attorney from the governor's office wanted data on the prosecution of Samuel D. Burris. I sent her all she needed. So on this day, November 2nd, 2015, in the very same courtroom where Samuel D. Burris was tried and convicted, I sat in the witness box as the descendants of his family stood up to read his words and watched the governor, with the family crowded around him, sit in the prisoner's dock and sign the pardon for Samuel D. Burris.
Is there a slave dealer who would be willing to be made a slave himself? I say no. I have said this much and leave comments for you while I remain your affectionate brother in the Lord until death. Samuel D. Burris.